Mr. Parker,
Present.
Mr. Zervigon,
Present.
also present Ashley Halpern, Board Counsel. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Interpretation services are available at today's meeting, and I will yield to our interpreters.
Thank you, President Bowen. Good morning, board members. Good morning, board council and members of community. My name is Vic Quinn Pham. I will provide interpretation services in Vietnamese. Xin chào toàn thể quý vị. Tôi là Việt Quỳnh. Tôi là thông dịch viên. Tôi sẽ thông dịch cho quý vị ở buổi họp này nếu quý vị cần. Xin cho tôi biết. Xin chân thành cảm ơn.
Good morning, board members, community member. My name is Lina Martinez. I will be providing interpretation services for you today in Spanish. Buenos días, mi nombre es Lina Martinez. Si hay un miembro de la comunidad que necesite asistencia con interpretación, estamos aquí para servirles. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Would all who are willing and able please stand and state the pledge? All right, I will now defer to Board Counsel to take us through the rules for public comment.
Thank you, President Bodwin. Anyone wishing to speak with regard to items on the agenda should fill out a public comment card and submit it to the board secretary. As the public is aware, typically cards are received up to 1/2 hour after the meeting begins. However, today the board will begin an executive session, and then the open session portion of the meeting will resume at 10 a.m. Therefore, cards will be received up to 1/2 hour after the first interview and open session begins, which will begin at 10 a.m. to give a little extra time for the public in terms of submitting the comment cards. Each person shall be permitted to speak up to 2 minutes as established by the chair. I will recognize the speaker and give the speaker permission to proceed. The speaker shall state their name and address for the board records. Those who have a group concern are encouraged to select a spokesperson from the group to address the concern. Speakers are expected to be as concise as possible and to present their questions and comments in an objective manner in accordance with good taste and decorum and without reference to or insinuations against the board, its members, or school system employees. Disruptions or disorderly conduct at the special board business meeting will constitute grounds for the presiding officer to ask security personnel to remove the offender. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any additions, deletions, or modification to today's agenda?
Yes, we have one deletion. Item 2.1 on the executive session agenda, Orleans Parish School Board versus the City of New Orleans et al. Civil District Court case number 2019-05174, injunctive relief status report will be removed from today's agenda.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Eames and seconded by Mr. Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the agenda is adopted. Before we move on to the executive session, I just want to give a little preview of how today will work. The board has a few matters to address in executive session. So we will begin an executive session, and then as Board Counsel Halpern mentioned, the finalist interviews will begin at 10 a.m. So we'll have one at 10 a.m., the second will be at 12:30. Between the two interviews, the board will recess for lunch. Following the completion of the second interview, the board will move forward with the action item on the agenda, the selection of the superintendent. Public comment will be taken before the board votes on the action item. And as mentioned, we will accept public comment cards until 10:30, 30 minutes into the open session. So the time is now 9:05. May I have a motion to move into executive session?
Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Eames and seconded by Mr. Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll now move into executive session.